What's up, everybody? Toad Pizza Guy here, and I have two great big announcements that we want to talk about. Well, maybe more than two, but a couple announcements we want to make regarding my podcast, Squared Circle Button. And if you're not familiar with Squared Circle Button podcast, I will kind of lay it out there for you. Just think of it this way. Squared Circle, that's the wrestling ring. Circle Button, that's a circle button on a controller. You have the Squared Circle Button. Put it together, wrestling plus video games, and that is what we're going to be covering. Our two biggest passions. Now it is me. It is Eric Novak. He actually animates for video games. He's working on Action Arcade Wrestling 2. He animates on that right now. And we also have Breezy, who's also on YouTube. If you want to find out information about them, link is in the description below. But if you want to find this podcast, you can get it on squaredcirclebutton.com, or you can subscribe on iTunes, so that way you can get every episode when it comes out. And right now we're looking at a schedule of every Saturday for a brand new episode to come up. Now with that, we want to let you know our first guest coming on the second episode is Marty DeRosa. If you don't know who Marty DeRosa is, he does $5 Wrestling with Colt Cabana. He does Worst Wrestling Promo Ever with Colt Cabana. He's a part of Comedians You Should Know. He's also has his own podcast called Wrestling with Depression, and he is going to be a great guest. Now with that, we want to take your phone calls. That's right. Leave us a voicemail now. If you call us, leave a voicemail. Have questions or comments for Marty DeRosa, leave it, and we will play it on the episode and ask him some questions. Now, the number you can call is 619-618-0271. Again, that's 619-618-0271. Call now, leave your voicemail, and let your voice be heard. Also, we do want to let you know that you can support the show. If you support the show, there are great things that you can do. $1 would just support the show, and that helps fund the show because this is ran on a separate website, and it's all fan-supported podcast. After that, we have $3. If you donate $3, you get to pick the song of the week, because every week we have a song of the week. If you donate your $3, you can get your song of the week heard. $5, you can get a shout-out, which is awesome. And then $7, you can get an ad on the air. $7. You can have whatever you want. You can have your YouTube channel. You can have your website. You can have whatever you want us to talk about. It'll be on the show. So there's just some way you can support the podcast. And with that, we also do have a form that you can sign up to be a guest. You just fill out a little bit of information, who you are, what your website is if you have one, and why you think you'd be a good guest. Honestly, this podcast is very, very good. I want you to go check out the first episode. It is on squaredcirclebutton.com, or go on iTunes, just search Squared Circle Button or Tony Pizza Guy. Either way, you can find it on iTunes. And it is awesome. It is great. It's a very, very entertaining podcast. Anyway, guys, go ahead, check it out, and leave us your voicemail, 619-618-0271. Tony Pizza Guy, frag out.